Many years later, the answer to the question of who actually leads what is now the European Union might be less complicated than it once was, but it is still by no means simple. The EU's split leadership structure contributes to all sorts of awkward and confusing moments. Who should collect the award when the EU is given the Nobel Peace Prize, as happened in
Decades ago, America's most powerful diplomat Henry Kissinger famously asked a simple but revealing question: who do I call if I want to call Europe? Years later, the question still does not have an easy answer. The European Union may look ununified on a paper, but when it's come to leadership who actually speak for Europe, the reality is far more complicated, and the confession keep refusing at the worst possible moment. Who accept the Nobel Peace Prize when the UE when it's like in 2012? Who gets the chair and who gets the sofa at a high-level diplomatic meetings like the awkward scene in Turkey in 2021? And when global crises erupt like the October 7 attack, who was the authority to speak for Europe and who should the world listen to this? Last week, this is long-standing confusion was thrown back into the spotlight when Manfred Weber, leader of the Conversation European People's Party, called for a dramatic changes. He purposed merging the two most powerful leadership roles in the UE into a single European presidency, arguing that Europe needs one clear strong voice on the world stage. So in this video, we are breaking down why the EU as an leadership is so confusing, what this purpose European presidency will mean, the pros and consequences, and whether it could realistically ever happen. If you like staying informed and want sharp, clear reporting without the noise, make sure you subscribe and turn the notification. Now let's get into the Union European. Massive, it's made of 7 institutions, 9 bodies, and more than 30 decentralized agencies. But to understand the leadership problem, we only need to focus on 2 key players. First, there is a European Commission. This is the EU's main executive body. It purposes and enforces law, manages the EU budgets, and negotiates international agreements. In many ways, this is the engine room of the European Union. Second, there is a European Council. This is made of the leaders of all 27 European member states, President and Prime Minister. Think of it as a collective head of a state. It does not pass law, but it has set the UE's overall political direction and act as the top-level crisis manager. Here's why things get tricky. Both of these institutions have their own president. Right now, the president of the European Commission is Ursula von der Leyen, while the president of the European Council is Antonio Costa. But this is a role were not always as powerful or visible as they are today. Historically, the Commission president was a fairly weak figure. They changed over time. The 1997 Treaty of Amsterdam gave the role more political weight, and the 2001 Nice Treaty strengthened it in an even further shifting power away from a collective decision-making and toward a more presidential system. At the same time, the European Parliament gained more influence. It now votes to approve or reject the Commission President nominated by the European Council. Then in 2014, the respectability candidate system was introduced. This linked to the Commission presidency to European Parliament election. Each major political group puts forward a lead candidate, and in a theory, candidates from the largest party become a commission president, an attempt to make the UE more democratic and transparent. So that the Commission president do for us. The European Council president, on the other hand, is much newer role. It was created in 2009 under the Treaty of Lisbon to bring stability and continuity to UE leadership. This presidency is chosen directly by a national leader for a 2.5-year term, renewably once over time. However, the balance has shifted. The Commission president, especially under Ursula von der Leyen, has become the more visible and arguably more powerful figure. For many people around the world, she feels like the leader of Europe. But legally and politically, the picture is still blurred. UE treaties say that foreign and security policy fall under the authority of European Council, with the president responsible for representing the UE external, but is a reality. Foreign policy overlap, where trade and energy and industrial strategy, all areas where the commissions play a central role. That's why at a global summits like the G7, you should often see both presidents present. This system works when a cooperation is strong. But when the rivalry takes over, it can seriously weaken Europe's influence. A perfect example was the tense relationship between the Ursula von der Leyen and a former European Council President Charles Michel. Then rivalry was widely reported Michel was accused of sidelining the commissions, while von der Leyen was accusing for overstepping her authority, especially on a sensitive foreign policy issues like Israel. Instead of a one clear European voice, the world had mixed signals. And that's the backdrop to the Manfred Weber's proposal. He argued that Europe's fragmented leadership simply is not fit for a world defined by a geographical tension and a crisis. In his word, European is blocked, speechless, voiceless, and the global stage and the must change. His solution, a so-called double-headed presidency. Under this idea, the same personnel would serve as a both commissioner president and a council president. Crucially, this will not even require changing the UE treasury, and national leader will simply agree to appoint a newly elected commission president to the council presidency as well. The advantage are abuses. Europe will speak with a one voice internationally. Decision making will be faster and clear. Accountability will improve, and for ordinary citizens and global partners, that UE will finally be easier to understand. But despite the logic, the chance of the happening anytime soon are slim. National leaders are deeply worried. Many see this as a power grab by the Commission at the expenses of the European Council, which represent member states directly. Others worry about concentrating too much authority in one's individual, especially since the Commission president has been dominated by conservative leadership for decades. And this debate does not exist in isolation. It's a part of a much larger conversation about Europe's future. Weber has called for ending unanimity voting on foreign security policy, and meanwhile figures like a Mario Draghi have openly suggested the EU should move toward a federal system. So this question remains: will Europe continue speaking with multiple voices, or finally choose one voice? At a time when global crises are escalating and power politics are packed with a vacancy, the answer may matter more than a word it. I'm ending this video and thank you for watching the full video, and if you're coming from there then don't forget to subscribe.